Hey, what's up guys? So it's been a really long time since I've done a video. It's actually been about 3 months, which is a really long time for me. But the reason for that, if you watched the previous video that I posted back in, I guess it was January or something like that, you know, I moved into a new house, I got a new job, and I also got engaged. So things have been really crazy, and I'm finally starting to get settled in, and I actually have time to do more videos. So I figured I'd get back into things. So with this video, what I wanted to do was show all of you S3 and Golf R guys. It's more specifically towards the facelift S3s, because there were other ways to do this in the past. I want to show you guys how to code your exhaust flaps so that they stay open all the time. One of the big issues with the S3s is, you know, in the quad exhaust, that the soot really builds up on those two inner pipes. And the reason for that is because the flaps on the outside pipes actually stay closed most of the time, unless you're in like the dynamic mode and over a certain RPM. So with that being said, let's get down in the garage. We will hook this thing up to the car, and we'll figure out how to long code the exhaust flaps so that they stay open all the time. So before we get into it, I wanted to show you a couple of things that I've done in the garage. I haven't done a whole lot, but they are kind of important, so I figured I'd show it to you. As you can see over here in the, right here, it's kind of hard to do with this thing, but right here, you can see that I have a flat screen TV. Obviously, that is one of the most important things that you can have in a garage when it comes to being a car person. So obviously we have that. I am in Maryland, so you have to have the best flag in the country hung in your garage. I mean, it's the coolest thing, obviously, so you're gonna have that here. And then also a Audi flag. And as you can see, the S3 is comfortable in the garage. All nice and clean. It is getting a little bit of pollen on it. Let's see if you can see it in here. Trees. Oh yeah, you can see it. But from far away, it looks good. That would be that ceramic coating. So now let's get in the car, hook this thing up, and then we'll see if we can get these exhaust flaps coated. So then I have my OBDEleven dongle plugged in down here into the OBDII port. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and connect it using the application. I have an Android phone here, so you can see. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and scan the car. I haven't done that in a while. I want to see what's going on with it, if there's any kind of faults that are showing up. Make sure everything with the car is okay right now. This might take a little while, so we'll go ahead and skip through it a little bit. All right, so it looks like we have no error codes or any kind of faults. So that's good to know. All right, so now that we've gone through that, and I feel much more comfortable about not having any kind of error codes on my car, let's get into the long coding. Okay, so one thing you have to do before you get into the coding part of it, you want to start the car up and actually have it so the engine's running, and then put it in dynamic mode. Once that's done, go ahead and shut the car off, but leave it in accessory mode. Basically what that does is it opens the exhaust flaps up, and when you turn the car off, it leaves them open. So before you start coding it, you want to make sure that that's done so that those flaps stay open. So what you can do is you'll click on this little icon here, and it's basically going to bring up all the different control units within the vehicle. From here, you're going to go into engine, and then we're going to go down to long coding. So here you'll see you have all the different options. You have all the different bytes across here at the top, and then the bits will show up going down this way. The actual exhaust flaps are going to be under bit 9, which is going to be the last one over here on the end. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if we can get that to focus. There we go. So it'll be the one over here all the way on the end. From here, you'll go down to bit 2, and you'll see on mine that I have the exhaust flaps disabled. Now, if I didn't have this done, you would probably see a check mark over here, and you just probably see these like little dots. But what you'll do is you'll uncheck that, you know, once you've ran the engine and basically put it in dynamic mode so that the exhaust flaps start up or open up, and you've shut the car off. And then basically you'll see it should show disabled, and then once you're done, you'll click this little check mark down here, and it'll save that setting within the car. So while we're in here, I have been wanting to make a slight modification to the, they call them the comfort turn signals. So if I hit this over here, you'll see they flash 3 times. I feel like that's not enough time for them to be flashing, so I actually want to change it so that they do it a little bit more, and OBDEleven can do that. So what I'll do is I'm going to go into apps on here, and then we'll scroll down to, let's see if I can find it. Comfort turn signals. So we'll click on that, and what it's probably going to do is, yeah, so what it's doing is it's showing 3 on here, which is the default setting from the factory. And you can actually change this to 2, 3, 4, or 5. Let's try 4 for now. So we'll get an extra one, and we'll go ahead and lock that in by holding the little check mark. So it should be saved. Let's see what this does here. So go ahead and tap that one 4 times. Perfect, so that worked. So what I'll do is I'll show you exactly what it's gonna do to your exhaust. I've had mine disabled for a little while now, and you can actually see it. We'll take a look at it here. You'll see that the soot is evenly distributed across these exhaust tips, and that's because both flaps are open all the time. From the factory, basically what happens is this flap over here is closed until you have it in dynamic mode and you get over 3,000 RPMs. So all of the exhaust is pretty much coming out of this exhaust pipe, the inner ones, most of the time, but with this mod, basically it's going to keep them open all the time, and it'll evenly distribute that. All right, so there you guys have it. It's a quick, easy mod to do, and I know a lot of you guys are really trying to figure out how to do that. I did notice a lot of questions on some of the forums. So what do you guys think? Does it help you guys out? Do you have any questions about how it works? Leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to go through and answer all your questions. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to reflect and never settle.